Hi, it's Caitlin, and I'm here with some new polishes from Great Lakes Lacquer and some details about their Black Friday sale. So Great Lakes Lacquer will be opening their shop on November 25th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and they will be offering special Black Friday pricing on the new collection, which I'm about to show you, through the 27th. And there will also be some small batch sort of prototype polishes that will be limited to one per household. They'll be just $10, and I do imagine that these are going to sell really fast. So if you want them, be there when the shop opens on the 25th. So the new collection from Great Lakes Lacquer is called Beyond the Reef, and it is inspired by Moana, which Mariah is a huge fan of and her family loves it. These polishes are absolutely beautiful, and I think you're really gonna like them. So I will include any details you might need to know in the description below, and let's just get into the swatches.
Let's start with the Beyond the Reef Collection. This one is called You're Welcome, and this is described as a sun-dappled yellow, warmed with a pinky red to orange to yellow shifting shimmer, and a soft scattered holographic. So this has a really good formula for a pastel yellow. Those are kind of notoriously difficult to get right, but leave it to Great Lakes Lacquer to do a wonderful job with this. So I thought this covered really well in 2 coats. Once it dried down, it covered fully for me and it was pretty smooth. There weren't any dark spots or anything. And of course, I would recommend top coat. There's a lot of shimmer in there, so it dries down a little bit on the dull side. So here it is in 2 coats plus top coat, and you can definitely see that shimmer popping out. It shifts really nicely, and I think it's really great that the shifting shimmer includes yellow. It just adds a really good dimension to this polish. Next up is the Village Chief, and this one is described as a pink leaning coral filled with green to aqua to indigo shifting shimmer. And so this one has another really great formula considering it's such a light, they're kind of sort of pastel bases in my perspective on these, and it covers really, really well. So I personally didn't need any more than 2 coats because the shimmer in this is so strong it really obscured any nail line that might have been there. And again, this one dries a tiny bit on the dull side, so definitely use a good glossy top coat to bring back that shine. And as you can see, the shimmer is incredibly intense. It's really shifty. You really catch all of those shifts, the indigo shift, the aqua, the green, and then it just works so well with the base color. And I managed to catch this in the sun, and it looks really good in the sun too. Next up is There's Nowhere You Could Go That I Won't Be With You. And this one is described as a deep magenta filled with a blue to indigo to purple shifting shimmer and a soft scattered holographic. So as you can see, this one has fantastic coverage on the first coat. I would recommend 2, but I don't think anyone's going to need more than that because this is incredibly opaque, and once again, the shimmer is so intense that it would obscure any visible nail line. Just like the others, it does dry down a touch dull. So definitely use a good glossy top coat. And as you can already see, the shimmer is practically popping off my nail with this one, and that blue shift is just so intense. It works so well with the base color, and it's just absolutely beautiful. Here we have I Know the Way, and this one is a deep blurple featuring strong green to aqua to indigo shifting shimmer and a soft scattered holographic finish. So this one also, like all the others, has really good coverage on that first coat, but as you're going to see, the second coat really brings everything together, and for me, it brought it up to full opacity. Also, what I really like about these ones with the soft scattered holographic finish is that it's not really obvious that there's hollow in there, but it just gives an overall added dimension of sparkle, which I really appreciate. So this one, as you can see, is just packed with shimmer. I don't know how Mariah does it, but she somehow manages to just load up her polishes with so much shimmer, and yet the formulas are still easy to work with. So here you can see this is like the glowiest blurple polish I've ever seen. That blue shift is really, really, really intense. I guess it's an indigo shift, not blue, but it's super intense and works so well with that base color. Next up, we have Cuticula What, and this one is a soft nutty brown featuring pink to gold to green shifting shimmer. So this one, I mean, they all have the same great formula. They apply really easily, and this one is no exception. Obviously, 2 coats gives you full opacity. I don't think anyone would need 3 coats. Some of these do have a bit of a thicker formula, but that allows you to get them opaque in 2. And if you wanted, you could, of course, thin them if that's your preference. But here you can see this fully covered in 2 coats and did dry down a bit dull. So just like all the others, I recommend a good glossy top coat. And this one has a really nice complementary shimmer, as you can see. To me, the green isn't super obvious. It's there at more extreme angles, but predominantly I'm seeing the pink and the gold, and like I said, just at extreme angles I see the green. This one is called Should We Maybe Just Cook Him? And this one is described as a juicy orange filled with lime green to blue to purple shifting shimmer. So this polish sort of blew my mind when I applied it first. I really couldn't believe how opaque and how shifty it was. So obviously you can already see that green shift is just super visible, but you're going to see in a second that this polish is so many colors all wrapped into one, and it's really quite magical. So 2 coats is all you're going to need for this. It's really opaque, and as you can see here, it also shifts almost to like a hot pink, which isn't really in the description, but somehow I guess when you combine the orange base and the purple shifting shimmer, you get pink. So this polish looks orange, it looks green, it looks yellow, it looks pink. It looks like a whole bunch of different things all in one. And yeah, for anyone who likes really intense shimmers but doesn't like a sheerer formula, then you're going to love this one because it is opaque, it covers really well, and it doesn't compromise on that really intense shimmer shift. Next up is The Heart, and this one is described as a jade green glowing with a blue to indigo shifting shimmer and a soft scattered holographic finish. So this is a really beautiful shade of, it is a jade green base, but to me it overall sort of comes off as an aqua just because the shimmer in it is so intense. So again, a really wonderful formula. It's totally opaque in just 2 coats, and it's just packed with shimmer. So as you can see, it does dry down dull. Obviously you'll want a good glossy top coat. And with all Great Lakes lacquers, I get really good wear out of them. I don't experience any difficulty with removal, and none of these polishes gave me any issues with staining. So it's just a really wonderful formula overall. And as you can see here, the shifts in this one aren't super intense, but they just kind of work together really nicely. And here we have You Know Who You Are. And this one is in the similar style to some other Great Lakes lacquers you might be familiar with, including Homes, Get Your Boobies Squished, Shiny, and I Descent. So this one is a flake bomb featuring micro hollow flake, a soft linear holographic, black to orange to red shifting microflake, and red to orange to gold shifting iridescent flake. So there's a lot going on in this polish. It does build up in 2 coats really well. There's so much going on that it completely covered my visible nail line. And it does dry down with a little bit of texture and dullness, but it won't require 2 layers of top coat because there's no glitter in here. So 1 layer of top coat will take care of that texture. It's not really difficult to remove. And as you can see, this is just packed with shimmer and shifts from those flakes. It's just a really interesting polish, and it looks good in pretty much all lighting. Moving on, we have the last polish in the Beyond the Reef collection, and this one's called Shiny. So this one is similar to a small batch that Mariah previously released called the Stock Market. This one is a light gold metallic microflake with hollow microflake, linear holographic, and gold to pink to green to blue iridescent shifting flake. So this one builds up beautifully in 2 coats, as you can see. It's just super blingy and foily and metallic-y. It looks incredible. It's a really interesting and beautiful finish, and it's just so dimensional and beautiful. So here it is in 2 coats plus top coat. It won't be difficult to remove, and I just think this one looks so good in all lighting. Once again, it's just a really interesting polish. Now we're moving on to the small batches, which will be $10 each, and there'll be a limit of 1 per color per household. So this one is called Olive Succulents version 2. And back when Mariah did a custom for the Olive nail polish group on Facebook, she made a mistake mixing it up. So this one is the mistake version for you to purchase, and it's described as a grayed out olive filled with a green to magenta to orange to gold shifting shimmer and a soft scattered holographic. So this one, again, great formula in just 2 coats. It's a really interesting base color, and the shimmer works really nicely in it. So as you can see, it's definitely grayed out, and it's just like nothing else in my collection. So if you're a fan of greens or interesting polish shades, then I definitely recommend this one. Here we have What's in Your Hot Cocoa, and this one is a lightened version of Hoo from the Animal Crossing collection that Mariah did in the summer. I'll link it in the cards. So this one is described as a soft cocoa with a gold to green to blue shifting shimmer and soft scattered holographic. And this one is definitely on the light side, but it builds up really nicely in 2 coats. This might be one that some people will need 3 coats of, but I found it good in just 2 coats. So this one also has a lot of shifts going on in it. It's just a really interesting polish. I love Hoo, which is sort of the final version of this one, and I love this one as well. It's really fun to see the journey of a polish, and this one looks amazing in the sun. Here we have I'm a Donkey on the Edge, and this one is a pale grade blue featuring loads of red to orange to gold shifting shimmer and a soft scattered holographic. So this one has a fantastic formula. Once again, it covered completely for me in 2 coats. As you can already see, that red shimmer is super obvious. It stands out really easily and obviously on the nail. It does dry down a bit dull, so definitely use a glossy top coat to bring back the shine. And here the scattered holographic is just a beautiful complement to the shimmer, and it just works so well. As you can already see, the shifts in this one are super intense. It looks really good in all lighting, and it's just a really beautiful polish for anyone who loves soft blues or just pretty nail polish. Here we have Beyond the Reef, and this one is an aqua jelly featuring hollow microflake, a soft linear holographic, turquoise microflake and green to blue to pink shifting iridescent flake. So this one also has a lot going on in it, but it comes together so beautifully and it really does look like something you'd see from the ocean. So this one has a really nice sheer base that allows all of the elements to show through very easily. I would recommend building it up in 3 coats to get a deepening of the base color and a more opaque look, as you can see here. And this won't be difficult to remove. It will dry with a bit of texture, but top coat will take care of that. And honestly, this one is just beautiful if you like the ocean or I guess aqua polishes. It's just a really beautiful version of that color. So here it is in 3 coats plus top coat, and hopefully you can catch all those beautiful shifts that really make it look like the waves in the water. We're moving on. We have I Will Carry You Here in My Heart. So this one is actually the first version of I Know the Way, and it's described as a violet with hollow microflake, blue to purple to red to pink shifting iridescent flake, and green to blue to indigo shifting shimmer. So this polish has a fantastic formula. I wasn't sure it would get as opaque as it did on the second coat, but it just really blew my mind with how opaque it was after that second coat. And of course, I'm keep saying it, but it does dry a little dull, so you will want glossy top coat to smooth it out. But this one has a really beautiful shimmer to it that complements the base so beautifully. This one I think is just absolutely stunning. I always love microflakes and I love, little hollow flakes, and this one has all of those plus an incredible shimmer, and who doesn't love purple? We have Sophie's Pink next, and this one is described as a pale orchid pink filled with a pale gold to green to blue shifting shimmer. So this to me is one of those polishes that I would probably just wear in one coat with a top coat. I think it's really beautiful and delicate. It's almost like an Essie ballet slipper, just one of those really beautiful neutral polishes that works really well on my skin tone. And I chose to just build it up in 2 coats. There is a lot of shimmer going on in it, so I felt like it covered pretty well in those 2 coats. And of course, a glossy top coat to bring out the shine and the shimmer. And yeah, this one is just stunning. I love everything about it, and it's just pink. What can I say? I love pink. And then last but not least, we have Mood. And Mariah says that this represents her mood lately. And this color is described as a cornflower blue that's leaning just a touch purple and maybe even gray. And it's overrun with hollow microflake and red to orange to gold iridescent shifting flake. So this is another one that I actually really loved in one coat on my nail, but it also builds up really beautifully. I couldn't really resist that sort of soft and sheer look, so I left it at 2 coats, but of course you could build it up to 3 if you were so inclined. And this is a really beautiful polish. All of the elements in this are absolutely stunning. If you like shifty flakes, then you're going to love this one. And hopefully everyone can get all the polishes that they want from these small batches, because they are limited and they are so beautiful.
So if I had to pick my top choice from the Beyond the Reef collection, I'm gonna say it's There Is Nowhere You Could Go That I Won't Be With You. It's like the longest polish name ever, but it's also the prettiest polish, and the blue shimmer in this one is ridiculous. So if you do like purple polishes, then I really recommend this one because I am kind of obsessed with it. And I also want to give a shout out or an honorable mention to Should We Maybe Just Cook Him, because that polish is like 10 polishes in one. It's truly so shifty. It's also very opaque, and I just think it's such an interesting polish, and I just really like it. And lastly, from the small batches, I Will Carry You Here in My Heart is my top pick. I love the purple. I have a thing for purples, obviously, and I really like the hollow flakes in it, so that's my top pick. Let me know in the comments if you're digging any of these polishes. Let me know what your favorites are. Let me know if you're planning on picking anything up. And I guess that's it for me, and I'll hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!